Well, Ryan, first of all, congratulations. Saddlers are through to the final of the Walsall Senior Cup after a 2-1 victory over Heathage. First of all, how do you reflect on that game?
Yeah, I mean, it was a fantastic game. Obviously, we were very young, 16s, 17s, with a couple of pros, with Sam Perry and Taylor Allen, and obviously Ram. And I just thought it was fantastic for their character to come up against a physical side, physical men, who weren't going to allow them to play, that caused them different problems that they're used to, of a weekly occurrence. But no, I reflect on it as a great win, to concede late on and then go on to score the winner. It was a fantastic night.
That must have been the key point for you, the way they responded after conceding a goal so late on, particularly with a very young team, like you mentioned, 16 and 17-year-olds in there.
Yeah, I think their goal was coming. They had a lot of set pieces, they had a lot of territory. Due to our naivety of giving away free kicks on the on the halfway line, where in an academy game that's just hand on and they play, whereas against a non-league team they're just going to put it in the box, and there's no disrespect to them, it's just how it is. And then giving away a lot of corners, their momentum was building. But having said that, the reaction to the goal was fantastic, and in some ways, because they're so young, they didn't really let it affect them that they just conceded. They just carried on, doing what they're doing first half, front foot playing, and we knew that they were going to try and get for the second goal, so there was going to be a lot of area, a lot of space for a counter attack, and through Will, Marv, Dylan, and Ram, we capitalised on that space and scored the winner.
And the reward obviously is a place in next week's final, Tuesday the 9th of May, up to Burton to face Walsall Olympic. First of all, what's the feeling going into that game? Are the lads all excited?
Yeah, they are. It's a final, and no matter how old you are, whether you're 16 or you're a seasoned pro, a final is a final, and it's a fantastic occasion. Walsall will be very good. They've just achieved promotion to National North themselves. I know some of their players, and they have a lot of league experience, so they'll be a tough opponent. Having said that, their season's come to the end, so they'll be tired legs, the same as us. But we will go young again, and our young boys will have a great, experience playing at the Pirelli. Yeah.
Well, that's it. It's a chance to play at a big stadium. There should be a good crowd there as well, and it's against another group of men, but probably step up in opposition perhaps to Heathage.
I think no disrespect to Heathage, I think they'll be better. I think they'll be fitter. And whereas especially in the first half we was able to play through them quite easily up until a point, and then that low block. I think Walsall will be a tougher test in that respect. I think they'll be more organised. And as I said, they're coming off a promotion. They're coming off a real big hype. So it'll be a completely different test, but one that I'm really looking forward to.
I imagine regardless of how the game pans out, the lads will no doubt take so much from it, because it's going to be a great learning experience and something they can take into the summer break and then coming back in next season. Definitely,
and I think having spoke about their age and the ages of Dylan Thomas and Thomas Owen, Caden Bennett, these Kobe Wilkes, these 16-year-olds, they weren't phased. They weren't phased by the occasion. In anything, if everything, they probably stepped up, which is a real good trait to have as a young footballer. And it's definitely something that will is very positive. Not just from me, but first team staff watching. If a 16-year-old kid can come on, play against men, it's a real good omen for the future.
Just on a final note, a few weeks here now for yourself. Sure, hopefully now you've got your feet under the table, you've had a few games. I think prior to the cup game there was a 1-1 draw with Rochdale in the final EFL right. Youth Alliance game of the season. So how have you found the first few weeks? And it looks like the lads are responding to what you're asking them to do.
Yeah, listen, I think that football is it's a simple game, and it's simple as long as there's simple messages from to the players. No one is trying to recreate a wheel. And I said from my first day, I think that the lads need to get fitter. You know, and so training levels have gone up. You know, and we've just gone through their off-season plans now. We did the 16s last week. You know, and I emphasise how important it is, you know, to come back fitter than when you're finished. You know, and some of them could be a couple of weeks away from, you know, playing in a first team game. You know, so they need to become, you know, athletes. You know, and they really need to work hard at their craft. And ultimately, they want to be professional footballers. You know, so it's most of the time it's the most hard-working, you know, individuals that get them rewards.